Today we will be talking about the One Piece facts that you might have never heard. I think it might have some spoilers, stay alert. The first one is about Sanji. He ran for like 2 years to save himself from LGBTQ. He can't even use that English or Spanish bullshit. After all, they're all gay. Luffy is not a guy, and he might have the least desire among the crew. We also noticed that Luffy's that part is stretchy, which might give him an advantage to last longer with Boa. One Piece is still a mystery, and it would have been over in 5 years, but this guy decided to make us his slaves. And now we have to wait every 7 days for a new episode. The One Piece fanbase has given so many nicknames to different characters, but the best one is Minority Hunter Zoro. He likes cutting off more black people than Russians. According to Oda, if Zoro was a real person, he would be a police officer. The smallest named character in the series is a fly named Bachi. I remember when this idiot rejected the soup made by Sanji. He might have never seen Man vs. Wild. The largest named character is a 35 kilometers tall elephant. But the question is, how much water does Zunesha excrete while peeing? When we talk about size, how would Luffy look in front of Whitebeard? I mean, Whitebeard is 666 centimeters tall, and Luffy is only 174 centimeters. His genes are really strong, and he is worthy of being called everyone's pops. The most desirable woman in One Piece is probably Big Mom. She has 85 children, and all of them have different names and designs. Luffy might be good at football after all. He is from Brazil, and Oda brought different characters from different countries. How often do you bathe? Because Luffy hates bathrooms, and he goes in once a week when Zoro decides to go with him. Ulti is really a special character. She was named after a Hungarian card game. Don't know about you, but I am seriously obsessed with her. The live action is not that bad, but they spent a hell of a lot of money making a single episode. They approximately spent $17 million per episode, and that's really high. Brook only has 3 things in his life. First are panties, then Laboon, and his laugh. Every character has different laughs, and I can't even imagine how Oda figured that out. When Oda met his wife for the first time, she was cosplaying Nami. I mean, who doesn't like Nami? When Oda got married in 2004, he made a promise to his wife that they would go on a round-the-world trip after One Piece ends, saying he would finish it in 10 years. The rest is history. Community polls are really something, and there have been 7 popularity polls so far, and Luffy has won all of them. Not like Naruto, who loses to Red-Eye Itachi. The longest time between a character's first mention and full-on reveal is held by Vegapunk with 581 chapters, which is roughly 13 years. The second is Jinbei with 459 chapters. Luffy holds the record for appearing in the most panels, and there is a noticeable dip in manga sales when he doesn't appear for a long time. Luffy and Brook can grow back their teeth by drinking milk, and there is no canonical explanation for this. I think they should give some milk to Blackbeard for teeth recovery. You probably know this. Sanji's original name was Naruto, but then it was changed due to the release of that shitty anime. Nami looks cute while wearing glasses, and she might be canonically far-sighted, so she puts on glasses when reading books or maps. Otama is a little girl who can control the minds of animals, or any Zoan-type devil fruit eaters. She just needs to feed them something that comes from her cheek, and I would be traumatized if it was just makeup. Frankie is the most unhealthy Straw Hat member. His favorite foods are hamburgers, french fries, and anything that goes well with cola. According to Oda, if Frankie were a real person, he would be American. You might have seen that panda guy who appears mysteriously anywhere. He is a recurring gag character named Pandaman, and his birthday is February 29th. I think Oda copied that from Stan Lee. The award for the saddest backstory goes to Senor Pink. He dresses as a baby, and I don't want to explain more, or else you will need tissues. You might have been thinking about Nami's love. Berries. The main currency in the series is called berry, and its value practically translates to Japanese yen. So if we convert it to dollars, $1 is equal to 146 berries. Even though the story is about pirates, there is no canon character with an eye patch, but it can happen if Zoro decides to wear one. There are at least 20 plus different races and tribes in the world of One Piece. The small ones, the big ones, and the ugly ones. My favorite is Tontada. They can go anywhere, and Robin likes them. You might have always thought that bounties determine the strength of a character, but it's completely wrong. Bounties in the series indicate how dangerous a person is to the world government, and not necessarily their power level. The most enjoyable character is Kazuki Oden. He obliterated a bear by hurling a boulder at it at the age of 4. At age 6, he started roaming the red light district and spent the castle's money at the pleasure halls. Even though devil fruit users can't swim, no user has ever died from drowning in the series. Or no one has tried finding out what happens if they can't die, and this is just a made-up story by the world government. Though slavery was prohibited by the world government over 200 years before the current storyline, it still survives in certain places, and the most expensive slaves in One Piece are 30-plus-year-old female mermaids. The most interesting thing is that Luffy actually doesn't know the backstory of any of his crewmates, so you might be wondering how he knew that person is good. I think it's in the will of D to identify a person by their heart's nature. One of Sanji's dreams is to get the devil fruit that turns you invisible to peep on women, and now he got one with the Germa suit. Chopper's nose is blue because his backstory is based on Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, but reindeers can't see the color red. Chopper tries to get an animal for the crew so he is no longer considered a pet. To his dismay, every time he brings a pet on board, Sanji ends up cooking it.